everyone, my name is Dani and this is my booktube channel, Lupin's Library. So to kick it off, I thought I'd be doing the Booktube Newbie tag. And I did find a couple versions of this floating around on the YouTubes, but I decided to pick my favorite, and unfortunately I don't know who created this exact one, but I did find it on Sydney Brown's channel, so I'll make sure to link her doing this exact same video down in the description below. But without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and if I keep looking down, that's because I have the questions written down in front of me. So, question 1, where are you joining us from? I am a resident of Texas, which is located in the US. Question 2, how old are you? I am currently 23, going to be 24 in a couple of days, so I believe that puts me on the older spectrum of the booktube community. But also on that note, I'm a leap year baby, which is February 29th, and that only comes every 4 years. So I'm 5 going on 6, so I'm also on the young spectrum of the booktube community, so both work. Number 3 is, why did you join booktube? The obvious answer is I love books. I want to be able to talk to people about books. I've been a part of this booktube community for a long time solely as a watcher. Last year I had a brief stint where I tried to do a booktube channel. I think I only got 5 videos in, but I did pick the most inopportune moment to start. I neither had a camera or a laptop, and for someone who's super untech savvy as myself, it was just super complicated. So I decided to wait until I got better equipped. Question number 4. What is the meaning behind your booktube channel's name? The meaning behind my channel's name, of course, there's a character in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series named Remus Lupin. In one of Harry's years, he is a professor, but I feel like if he was able to choose his own career path, he would have either been like a coffee shop owner, I guess more for like muggles, but I think he also would have been like a bookshop owner or worked at the Hogwarts library. So if I lived in that universe, I would gladly have worked for Mr. Lupin, thus my channel name being Lupin's Library, and me being the one working here. Question number 5. What is your favorite genre? My favorite genre has to be fairy tale retellings, just because no matter how many of those you read, each of them's different based on who's writing them. The ones that really got me into this series was Jackson Pierce. I know she has, I think there's like 4 in her series. But my current favorite is going to be the Cinder series by Marissa Meyer. And I know she is making a new one coming out, which is going to be fairy tale retellings, but on Alice in Wonderland. So I'm super excited for that as well. I also like sci-fi. I'm getting more into that, both adult and young adult, as well as dystopian, I guess, because that's pretty much any young adult book right now. Okay, so question number 6. Who is your favorite author? To be fair, I don't really have one favorite author. I have favorite authors, plural. But of course, J.K. Rowling is going to be up on that list. I have not read her adult mystery series, and nor do I really want to. So that's purely just based off of Harry Potter. Other than that, I do want to say that Brandon Sanderson is quickly climbing up the list. I've only read a few of his books, but I've loved all of them so far. As well as Lisa Kleypas. She does romance, adult romance. Her books are always good. And Stephanie Kinsella, or Sophie Kinsella. I've just started reading some of her series, but all of those are good so far. So I want to say those are probably at the top of my list. Maybe. I'm probably forgetting somebody. I know I am, but that's okay. Question number 7. What is the last book you've read? The last book I read, I don't have a physical copy, unfortunately. I have it in ebook format. It is called Big Rock by Lauren Blakely. It is an adult romance novel. Super cliche, super predictable, but it's exactly what I needed. I read it like a little bit after Valentine's Day, so it was more like a guilty pleasure read for me, and I loved it. I loved it. Question number 8. What are you currently reading? Currently, I'm reading, sorry, I gotta get it. It's going to be Calamity by Brandon Sanderson. It's the 3rd book, the final one in his Reckoner series. And it's pretty good so far. I think I'm about like 100 and so pages in, and I'm really loving it. I'm also rereading the first one with my boyfriend, so he could start the series. So I'm reading book 1 and book 3 at the same time. Okay, question number 9. What do you use for bookmarks? Now, I do own some really cute bookmarks that have like tassels or beads on them, as well as some of those little magnetic ones that you clip on the page. But anything really like paper or flat material is in danger of getting jammed in a book. So currently for Calamity, I am using a Valentine's Day card from my younger sister. It has cats on it. I know for a fact that in what's the first one? Steelheart. My boyfriend and I are using a movie stub ticket. I think from when we went to go see Zoolander or How to Be Single. I'm not too sure, but one of those movie tickets is in that book. So, oops. Sorry, bookmarks. Question number 10 is show us your TBR pile. I don't have a pile per se. A lot of books on my shelf I have not read, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to all the books I did read that were on my shelves. I guess I sold them or gave them away or something. So my goal is to pretty much read my shelves. And I don't have a TBR jar just because I'm not very good at assigned reading, as you'll probably find later on when I do monthly TBRs, but I'll try to keep those to a low amount of books just to give myself some flexibility because, like I said, I hate assigned reading. I could love the book, but if I'm forced to read it, then I will struggle through it the whole way. Question number 11, hardbacks or paperbacks? Kind of like a trick question. I prefer to read paperbacks just because I feel like they're a little bit lighter. It's easier to just toss in a bag and take with you. I'm not too concerned if like it gets a little damaged just because they're a little bit more cost affordable versus a hardback, which to me, I like to read lying down, so it gets really heavy for me. Puny, sorry. Also, I don't like when like the bottom of the books, let me show you. Like when this area here starts like tearing or cracking, or the edges get like rounded. I guess I'm real picky with my hardcovers, but I do prefer hardcovers when they're on the shelves. To me, they just look more, like more professional, I guess. But if I had to pick solely on reading, I would pick paperbacks. Question number 12. Do you prefer ebooks or physical books? Going back to this, I prefer physical books. I consider myself like a collector, so I like seeing the books I own. I like being able to physically like just be like, here, I think you'd like this book, go read it. Versus ebooks, I have the Kindle app on my phone, so that's what I use. So if I wanted someone to read a book, I'd be like, here, take my phone, read this book, which is just really impractical. So although I do buy ebooks because I think I own 5, a lot of times it's for books that are really cheap, that are like maybe $1, $2. So that's the only reason I'll really buy an ebook. Question number 13. Do you prefer owning or borrowing? I prefer owning, just because once again I consider myself a collector, and I do have a habit where I'll like buy one of the books, but I'll like borrow the rest of the series, and that way I never actually end up owning the full series, so my shelves are incomplete. So I really hate that. It's just in my mind, if I read the book, I don't really want to buy it because I've already read it. To me, that's kind of like just a waste of money. So there are a couple of books on my shelves where the series is incomplete, and unfortunately it might stay that way. Oops. Question 14. What book series got you into reading? This one might get some hate, but I'm going to have to say the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. I did love the Harry Potter series. Let me state that first. It's just I read those, I think, maybe like elementary, middle school-ish, and I really got into those, but I didn't really keep reading after that because there's not really a lot of, wizarding school books, or if there are, they don't really come close to the Harry Potter series, so there's nowhere for me to go. Versus the Twilight series I read when I was a freshman in high school, and then from there I just branched out like multiple ways into just different paranormals, which is werewolves, vampires, fairies, things like that. So that really got me hooked. Also on that note, I am neither Team Jacob or Team Edward. I am Team Alice all the way. So let's see. Question 15. How did you discover Booktube? I think I discovered Booktube on accident. I was watching, I think, a beauty guru's channel, and she kind of started including books in her monthly wrap-ups or her monthly favorites. And then she started posting book reviews or book hauls. And then from there, I just somehow got addicted to the Booktube community. The first Booktuber I remember watching was The Readables. I know she doesn't really post as much, but I loved all her videos. And then, of course, I watched like the supreme Booktubers right now. You know exactly who they are. So I guess accidentally stumbled into this world, but I love it. Question 16. What challenges do you think you might face? Editing. Like I stated already, I am not a very tech savvy person. So editing is going to be completely new to me. So if you have any like softwares or suggestions, please feel free to list those below, because I am starting from scratch here. I got the camera, I got the laptop, but now where do I go from there? Also, I think just figuring out a posting schedule. I work a full-time job where my schedule, I don't have a set schedule, so it changes weekly. So I just have to figure out what days I'm mostly off, and then I'll start posting then. So hopefully by next week I'll have figured it out or something. Question 17, this is the last one. Where else can we find you? I don't really have a lot of social media sites. I do have an Instagram. I started a Twitter. We'll see how that goes. Then I'm thinking about starting a blog. You could probably let me know. Just to post all my reviews versus Booktube, where I might just post a few. I haven't decided yet. But I will be sure to link all of my social medias down below, as well as in the About section on my page. So you could go ahead and look through those. But that completes my Booktube newbie tag, so I guess I'm not an official newbie anymore. But thank you for watching, and I hope you'll stick with me and see me again sometime next week. Bye!